The movie is so sad.
Notice I'm looking into the sun again. We went and saw Magic Mike XXL.
Yeah, I wanted to wait till I got back from Detroit so we could go see it. So Violet and I went to the Jesus movie instead, and then Dave got mad at me.
Oh.
You want to go see the Nom one without me? Don't worry, dude. It might come to Springfield.
I think you said you were going to send him and Brian to go see it if it does come to Springfield.
They'll love it.
At least you gave him the bracelet from that other movie that you got.
I was in a Walmart and they were selling God's Not Dead, and it came with free bracelets. So now me and Dave have matching God's Not Dead bracelets.
Buddies.
We are bracelet buddies now. Oh, sorry, I left mine at home.
Oh.
I really like this movie. It was fun.
Well, because after I saw Magic Mike the first, I bought it on Blu-ray because I liked it that much. And so then when Brad said we were going to go see it together, him and Violet came over to my place and we watched it together. So you could follow the plot.
Yeah, which actually, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of callbacks in this one. So yeah, it worked that I'd seen the first one before, and I really liked the first one. I thought the first one was fucking excellent.
Yeah, the tones were definitely very different from the first one to this one.
Yeah.
Because the first one's kind of like a seedy underbelly of the stripping world, and then also fantastic dancing. And this one was like a road trip comedy and also fantastic dancing.
This one it's straight up a dancing movie. Like, so much so, like, really, Brian should also be here. Like, it'd be like if they made a sequel to Boogie Nights and it just was a porn. Like, but that, I mean, it worked. It was much more of a comedy than the first one. Much more so.
They seemed to kind of do away with the drugs aspect of it. Like, there was one point towards the beginning when they were getting ready to go on their road trip and they're all in the truck that Gabriel Iglesias has like the water bottle full of like murky shit that he's adding to his smoothie or whatever he's making. So you have to assume that was drugs, and then they had the Molly, but there wasn't like any big drug running subplot.
No, there wasn't any drug running subplot or anything like that. They're just on a road trip, so they're just simply doing some drugs. Right on.
Including the driver.
It's like,
which ends poorly.
That was funny. Yeah, poor Gabriel Iglesias is really only about the first half. It's okay, he comes back in towards the end. Just a little bandage on his head and everything. He's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, in terms of like, it's a sequel and it's a comedy, and it's a good comedy sequel. And that's rare that I see a really good comedy sequel. Maybe in the future they just need to make comedy sequels that are sequels to stuff that aren't really comedies.
That's an excellent point.
This is definitely a comedy. I wouldn't classify the first one as a comedy.
No, it had some funny parts, but no, it wasn't a comedy.
Yeah, it's a comedy in as much as, well, like Boogie Nights is a comedy. Like, it's got funny parts, but that's not how I would classify it. They kind of just got together and made this goofy road trip movie, and it just really, really freaking worked.
Well, because, like, it's, Channing Tatum has opened his furniture making business, and then the guys call him and they're like, oh, Dallas is dead. And my first thought was, oh, so that's how they got rid of him.
Yeah.
But then he gets there and it turns out they're just having a pool party. Like, he's not dead. He just went to China.
Yeah, with Alex Pettyfer, who's also not in this movie.
Yes, and also Alex Pettyfer's sister broke up with Channing Tatum, so she was also not in the movie. She's represented by a Post-it note that she left on the cookie dough in the fridge.
And the engagement ring that he was going to get her.
Yeah, aw. And so they're like, one last trip, we're gonna go to this stripper convention, and he's like, I'm coming too. Like, they didn't even talk him into it. They mentioned to him they were going, he goes home, Pony by Genuine comes in the radio while he's welding, and so he does like
it's pretty much verbatim what you see in the trailer.
Yeah, an impromptu welding stripper dance.
Which will happen in a dance movie. And it was funny, and he's
amazing.
God,
dancer.
Is he a hell of a dancer?
Like, even in the welding scene, he's like flipping over stools and like spinning around on the table. It's like the appearance of weightlessness and what has to be at least a 200-pound man. Yeah,
even in the first, because I mean, I knew that the first one was, not that like the first one's I don't know if it's a true story by any means, but like the first one is kind of. based on the fact that he was a male stripper.
Yeah,
at
I don't know
one
how
point in
much
the
of it is
past.
based in fact, but the fact that he used to be a male stripper and some of the stories from his
Yeah.
his life in that world. So you can tell, like, in terms of, like, the Kings of Tampa, or Resurrection, as they're now called.
Resurrection, yes.
He's definitely the best of the dancers.
Oh, not Tarzan?
Not Ernest.
Oh, that was a funny
He
part
gets
in
a
the
name
movie.
in this one.
Yeah, because someone has to tell Channing Tatum that that's his name.
Just keeps calling him Tarzan.
There was the girl behind me who was like, "It's Tarzan." Oh, by the way,
Not the point.
the audience for this movie.
Oh, Brad was the only man there, and I'm not exaggerating. We watched to see if there were any others, and there were none others.
It was a crowded theater. It was. I wasn't really. I mean, I think the movie did well, but
It's
like,
not opening night or anything.
no, we're seeing this on a Tuesday night.
And it was like there were people in the front 3 rows, and we ended up having to move over a couple times, and we were bumping elbows with people. And it was just wall to wall bitches, and there was some girls behind us that were kind of chatty, but past that they were pretty well behaved.
We were sitting in front of, a couple of really chatty people in the audience, but like of all the movies I've been to where I was the only guy in the audience, not counting movies I was alone during, this is the best. This is way better than 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Grey wishes it was this sexy.
Oh my god. Yeah, like I actually really liked seeing it with this fucking loud of an audience. It felt like you were there.
Right? Because like whenever something happened, woo!
This happened a lot during the movie. Like a lot of woos, a lot of I think the girl behind me passed out at one point. I was just straight up expecting to see just money fly from the audience at one point.
We're sitting outside, and I mentioned that whenever in the movie, whenever like the dollar bills just started flying at the guys, it reminded me of like in the Family Guy when Quagmire was at the strip club and he's just going like this and money's just boofing out of his torso. And that was the level of money that was being thrown in this movie. And yeah, Brad was saying he was expecting the people in the audience to just start throwing money.
That would have made it like the single greatest movie going experience of my life.
So if you go see this movie, which you should go see this movie, bring money and throw it because it'll be hilarious.
Yeah, because in the whole last like 20 minutes or half hour is the strip competition, and there is a couple of times it just simply looked like just money was shooting out via cannon fire from the audience. Like, wow, they are straight up millionaires right now.
Look, this movie is basically Pitch Perfect, only with strippers, in that it's very much like they're going on a trip to go to this convention, and they're like, oh, we're going to use our tried and true methods of, like, you know, the fireman, the Tarzan guy, you know, the army guys, and he's like, you know, Channing Tatum's like, why don't we use new routines? You know, these old, worn-out ones are not representative of masculinity in today's modern age.
Yeah.
Which I did not expect this movie to go into. But I read an article online about how the boys in this are kind of the nouveau bros, and I thought it very accurate because it's like it explains that the fireman doesn't make any sense, and the guy who plays the fireman has a fire phobia, which they actually mentioned in the first movie.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they just pulled it out of their asses like Tarzan's painting hobby. And you know the army thing, like, well, you know, in today's, you know, political climate, you know, is maybe less than good.
Well,
so they end up like making new routines that are relay their passions more so than like, you know, archetypal stereotypes.
I'm the Navy guy.
Yeah.
And also the fact that Joe meant to.
Mental Niglio.
Yeah, him.
The werewolf guy from True Blood.
Yeah. The fact that he doesn't really even like the song that he usually dances to.
Yeah, because Dallas picked it.
Yeah. I did miss McConaughey. But Jada Pinkett was kind of amazing in this.
She was so good. And, like, my favorite part was when Joe I keep wanting to say Ventimiglia, but that's the
Milo Ventimiglia.
whenever Big Dick Ritchie is like coming to grips with the fact that he's not going to be a fireman. You know, they've stopped at like a rest stop, and the guys are like, you can make that girl in there smile, and he's like, that girl's never smiled a day in her life, and so he goes in and he does like this dance routine involving like convenience store props, and it is amazing.
And what was it? Was it the Backstreet Boys playing in that scene?
Yeah, because he just got done talking about how much he loves the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah,
and so he's like tearing open Cheeto bags and like spraying water all over himself, and he gets up to the counter. He's like, "How much for the water and the Cheetos?"
She finally smiles. Because beforehand, he's doing this whole random routine, and it's frequently cutting to them flipping their shit out in the parking lot, and then just this blank expression on this girl's face as she's watching just this random strip routine happening in front of her at work.
But you know, if you were at work and some guy came in, good-looking guy notwithstanding, and just starts destroying merchandise and squirming on the floor, yeah, it's sexy, but you're not going to be amused because it's probably going to mean trouble for you in the long run. But when he gets up, he's like, I'm going to pay for that stuff, and I'm not looking to rape you or anything. That's when you can start having a good time.
It's okay. Right on. This is a great day at work.
Yay.
I like that this one, I don't even know how I could say which one I like better. They're both completely different movies, but this one, since this one is much more of like a buddy camaraderie road movie, the supporting cast in this, the other guys like Matt Brommer and like Tarzan and guys like that actually get a lot more screen time in this. They actually
it's more of an ensemble.
It's way more of an ensemble than the first one. Which the first one, I mean, that made sense in the first one. You know, it's about Mike and the kid and also the sister. Like that's pretty much what that movie was about. And this one, you get to see a lot more backstory. The characters have more screen time in this one. It was cool. They pretty much give them all their moments to shine in this, whether it's Tarzan learning his name and
talking about how he was in Desert Storm.
He's in Desert Storm.
And he paints as a hobby, and then Big Dick Richie's all sad because he doesn't ever get to have sex because women take one look at his dick and they're like, how about a hand job?
How about I just give you a blowjob?
And so then they come across Andy McDowell.
Yeah.
And he beds her proper, and then it wasn't all like, woo, high five. I mean, they high-fived once, but it was all like,
it was quiet. They had to be really quiet. It was
they're
during
being
breakfast.
respectful.
Yeah, they're being very, very respectful. And Amber Heard is kind of sort of the love interest in this with Magic Mike, and
well, like I didn't consider her a love interest.
That's why I was like
they had a flirtation going on.
That's why I was like kind of, sort of, like if there is, I guess it's her.
Well, that's why I'm glad at the end she didn't like end up with Mike, because like towards the middle she's I'm out of my boy phase right now.
Yeah.
So if like it had turned out that he had dry humped her into straightness, then I would have been a little upset.
That's the movie I watched earlier with Talia Shire. But I actually liked those two on screen together better than I did him and the sister from the first one.
Yeah, I liked the sister.
I mean, so did I. I just liked the chemistry of him and Amber Heard better in this movie.
Yeah, well, he was more playful about it, because he was in this movie as opposed to the last movie.
He was in the fun movie.
My name is Magic Mike.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference right there. In the first one, when he says, "Am I being Magic Mike right now?" It's actually a pretty serious moment in that movie. In the trailer for the first one, it kind of made it look like a lighthearted line, but when that line is actually in the first one, it's a pretty serious moment in the movie. In this one, when he's a Magic Mike and does his spin and walks out, it's hilarious.
It's hilarious and adorable.
Yeah.
Do you see why I like Channing Tatum so much now?
Oh, yeah, once he started being in really good movies, I love the guy. I mean, that was the first movie I saw him in was G.I. Joe, which was he's even come out and said, like, yeah, that movie sucked. And then seeing him in more stuff like this, 21 Jump Street, Foxcatcher, which was fucking great. I wish I saw movies like this before I did some of the stuff that was earlier in his career, because the guy's entertaining as hell. I mean, even beyond, Jesus Christ, he is talented as a dancer. Like, holy fucking shit.
There's a scene towards the end, and they play a little bit of it in the preview, where like it's him and this other guy that he had met at Rome's stripper brothel, sort of, where they're doing kind of like a mirror dance with two different girls, and it's mesmerizing. Like, I was sitting up because I was looking for it, because I heard that it was really good, and it surpassed my expectations.
The mirror dance scene.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was the choreography and everything. I was kind of laughing in that, too. I was like, I wonder how good this routine works from somebody in the audience here sitting at a really bad angle. Is that a mirror? I can't tell. All right. Woo! Money.
I was thinking that during the first half of the dance that Amber Heard's character wasn't really getting the full effect because she had her back to what was happening on the other side of the mirror. But then they flipped her over and turned her over and turned her over so she could see.
See, it all worked out.
There was a lot of, like, throwing women around in this movie. Like, I don't know how much that actually happens in, like, a normal strip club.
Yeah.
But it was impressive. Like, just, like, picking her up and then flipping her around and then throwing him over her shoulder and then mushing her up on his face. It's like, again, the illusion of weightlessness. It was impressive.
Yeah. Well, we don't see anything like that at the strip clubs we go to in town.
Nope. Those are depressing as hell.
This is really, really sad. Depressing. Unless it's like 80s night, then at least the music's good.
Because, like, the thing about the strip club here in town...
Deja vu.
Is that since it's like an all nudity, there's no drinks, and the guys there are really skeezy, and the girls are cranky and mean. So it's like, it's interesting to go to, but it's not fun.
I got hit on by a 60-year-old man the first time I went there.
I do tell.
It was my 18th birthday, so of course strip club. So I went there, and it was 80s night, so that was cool. But I was... what section was I fucking in? I think I was just, like, waiting for the bathroom. And the bathroom at the time was near, like, the peep show section. And so I was just waiting for the bathroom, and there was this, like, 60-year-old man in an overcoat and a fedora standing behind me. Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't 3 children who were sneaking in.
I don't know why they're hitting on me.
They think that's what grown-ups do.
Yeah. And the dude behind me, no wait, he was in front of me. He turned around and said, you want to share a booth? And I'm like...
I think he's just frugal.
Yeah. Maybe.
Look, you can go halvesies. I'll stay on my side. There's like a line here.
Well, let me see how much money my mom gave me. I still gotta buy dinner after this.
You're not 3 kids in a trench coat, are you? No.
Your torso says no. He said that, and I was just like, oh, I'm cool, man. Thanks, though. He's like, that's okay. And went to the bathroom.
I went one time with Miss Emily, and a fist fight broke out next to us. Yeah, we were kind of like, well, because we were up at the stage because we had our dollar and we were gonna give it to the lady, and then just these 2 guys sitting next to us just started fighting, and then they fell over, and we're like, time to go.
No, that's when you stay. Okay, guys, something entertaining is happening right now. Dave and I would go there every once in a while when I was working radio because I would get free passes to it. So there was one time we're hanging out. It's when Dave still lived over at his folks' place, and we were hanging out over there, and I was reaching in my pocket for some reason. Maybe I was getting cigarettes or something, and like I had a free pass in my hand. I'm like, oh, free Deja Vu pass, and I'm like, oh wait, it says it expires tonight. And Dave's, well, we gotta go. It's like midnight.
The coupon is dictated.
The coupon is dictated. We gotta go, man. It's midnight. So we did. Our broke asses walked in there, probably gave our whole paychecks, which at the time, $40. Nothing, though, beats the time where I was telling you about earlier at Aaron's birthday. And we go there for Aaron's birthday, and
our friend Aaron had a birthday party. It was a mustache party where everyone had to either grow a mustache or wear a fake mustache. And mine was sweet. I drew in like a little John Waters thin one, and I had my hair all slicked back.
Yeah.
And so we went to the strip club afterwards. And did you want to tell it?
I'll tell it. If you watch the first Magic Mike review, I'm pretty sure Jillian brings up she doesn't like strip clubs.
She was hanging like a champ, and then she just decided nothing doing, so she decided to go home.
Yeah, so she stayed as long as she could, and ended up, she's like, I'm gonna take off. So she did, and so I was like, okay, so she takes off, and I go up to the ATM, yeah, I went up to the ATM and just took out like a bunch of ones. She forgot her purse and walked back in.
They're like,
and I'm,
wah, wah, wah.
this is exactly what it looks like.
You're like the idiot husband in a 90s sitcom.
Yeah, well, there was a laugh track because everyone was laughing at me. So I'm standing there holding this, and Jillian walks in to get her coat or purse or whatever she forgot him. And I'm pretty sure I just said like, oh, Dave wanted me to come up to the ATM and get him a bunch of ones. I don't know. I'm against this shit.
He's like, don't drive me into this.
Bro, get over here. Take your ones, Dave.
Oh, sweet, thanks.
Yeah, Dave, I'm gonna need those ones back.
What? I'm sorry, I spent them all. Stripper walks away just full of ones. Yay!
Why did I even go to the ATM? I could have gotten it from Jillian's purse. She left it there. That one's my favorite story. Well, wait, there was a seedy-ass strip club. I have no idea if it's still there.
Is this the one where people started having sex
Oh,
at
yeah.
your feet?
Yeah.
I think you told me about this.
The petting zoo.
Classic.
Yeah, that was our first clue. Again, this was when I was working at the radio station, and me and a couple of the other DJs there, we got like free tickets for it or something, so we went, and it was in like fucking Farmersville.
That's your second clue.
Clue number 2. So we go there, and clue number 3 was we had to sign waivers before we went in. Do not talk about what goes on in here. Oh man, I wonder if
You're
there's...
gonna get in trouble.
I don't know if the petting zoo is still open. Oh man, does this mean there's vampires in there? Sweet. And yeah, we're sitting there just like drinks, whatever. And then orgy breaks out over our feet. Like, well, guys, it's...
Start pushing them away.
Damn it, get. I just bought these shoes. It's rude of us not to watch you guys.
Well, because, like, the thing is, at the VU, there's, like, 2 varieties of strippers. There's the super athletic ones that can climb up the pole and spin down like nobody's business. And it's interesting, but it's not unique, you know?
Sure.
And then there are the newbies, which are fun to watch because they're either, A, hilariously inept,
Yeah.
or B, just have, like, the same 5 moves they keep cycling through, and then no one comes up to the stage and you feel real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, in this movie, I hate to bring it back to the movie, they had, like, all sorts of scenarios they were going through, and it was because, like, at the end, there was a culmination of all the different, like, subplots, and each stripper got their own little scenario that they played out. Like, Tarzan, his was the worst. He was, like, a painter with short shorts on and, like, a Phantom of the Opera cape with, like, naked lady mud flap decals on it. But, like, he gets the lady down the chair, he's, like, mooshing a paintbrush on her, but then he has a bucket of glitter, and he throws it at this blank canvas, and they arrange it with glue, so it falls down, and it's a portrait of a lady vaguely looking like the lady that he picked.
It was impressive.
And then, like, there was the singy guy actually, like, sang an entire song, which is really impressive, and he had the ass hanging out the back of his pants. For I don't know if he was supposed to be, but it kept, like, flashing by with, like, a silver thong on.
Like McConaughey in the first one where it just accidentally fell off.
Okay, so he had the same sort of McConaughey scene in that, like, he laid on the ground and the women just fucking swarm over him like wolves and just boof dollar bills.
Yeah, again, dollar bill cannon coming out of the audience.
And then there was the mirror dance one.
Yeah.
And then the best one, well, the best one was a mirror dance.
Yeah,
The second best one was Joe. He had been talking earlier in the movie about they were like brainstorming different interesting scenarios they could do. He's like, how about I grab a girl from the audience and like I marry her and people throw rice and stuff. And you're like, that's dumb. So he actually starts doing that. Like he grabs the girl from the audience. There's 2 male strippers and they like throw rice at him. They walk up to Jada Pinkett. She marries them.
Oh, they're legally married now.
And then he calls her up on stage and there's like a 50 Shades of Grey style sex swing harness. And so he like sets her in it and the music changes to I want to fuck you like an animal. And he just like starts climbing all over her and just humping the shit out of her face. And it is like the turn was amazing.
Not to mention,
I want to go to that kind of strip club.
yeah, Although I'll miss Tail Girl from Deja Vu.
Oh, Skeletor. I
Yeah.
feel so bad. They keep making fun of her, and she was doing her best.
She really was. Wasn't she the one doing like the Karate Kid crane?
She was doing the
thing?
crane.
Yeah.
And she was like kind of doing the hustle in between the poles.
Mm-hmm.
She was doing something different, is my point. But they make fun of her because, first of all, she was like bone skinny, so you could see her coccyx in the back, so it kind of looked like she had a tail.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, like, I don't know who had dressed her in her stripper garb, but she had gone with like hot pink bikini and then like a peignoir with like feather boa around the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Like she looked like Kitty from that 70s show tried to dress sexy.
Yeah. This means we need to open our own strip club. I've experienced as a DJ.
I can pick their outfits and make sure they don't
See?
suck.
Exactly. And
I can sing The Ladies of Tampa.
I know the lyrics to Heaven by Bryan Adams that he sings in this movie.
It was so sweet. And Donald Glover was in it. And God bless him, he didn't work out a lick for this movie.
I thought he was really good in it.
He was fantastic, but like the problem is he was standing next to Channing Tatum's
Oh, you mean?
torso.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, he just looks like a normal guy. And so he
Uh-huh.
takes off his suit jacket, and it's like, oh, honey.
It was fun seeing him in like kind of not a typical Donald Glover type role.
And he's belting in this movie, because, like, he does, like, a little rap song for one of the girls at the stripper brothel. At
It's
the
a
beginning.
stripper version of that game you see on Whose Line Is It Anyway, where they pull someone out of the audience
Yeah.
and make up
Wayne
a song.
Brady makes a song for her.
Yeah, only
Only
if
instead he starts stripping his clothes off.
Ooh, Whose Line Is It Anyway after dark?
Wayne Brady, bitch.
And the audience was pointing it out to us that you could still see the sex swing in the background.
These women behind us are running like a color commentary towards the end, and I'm like, I'm trying to pay attention to the dancing. And so, like, it goes over to the mirror dance, and there's like this huge buildup, but behind me, because in the background you can still see Joe and the sex swing girl kind of like still setting up there. I hear behind me, Kathy, she's still on the sex swing. Kathy, you can see her. She's still sitting up there. Cheryl, can you see her? She's still on the sex swing.
And don't step on my beaver. Oh my god, it's the same girls from 50 Shades.
Yep.
No, I did not mind that in this movie because it kind of felt like you were there.
Yeah, it's like an audience participation thing.
Yeah. And then just me, only dude sitting there in an entire packed house.
I feel like I know that you enjoyed it, but I
Yeah.
feel like it would have been funny if you just sat there like,
Pretending to be asleep, my hoodie up or something. What would Brian be doing in this situation?
boo!
Brrr.
Bring in the broads!
Is that what he does at those dance movies? I've never been to a dance
I thought
movie
you
with
said
him.
this movie had strippers.
I did not lie. I just didn't tell you what kind. You should have asked me.
Fooled you.
I do like, did you ever go with us on amateur night one time? Or was that like me? I think that was just me, Dave, and Mike one time on amateur night.
I've heard this story, because it's one of the don't mind Mike, that's just what he's like sort of stories.
Oh, that didn't have anything to do with it being amateur night. That was just Mike being Mike, our friend Mike. I don't even know if I should say this story. Like, he didn't leave a very good tip. But, and
I
then...
don't think it was the tip that was the problem, it was the fact that he said, here you go, doll, don't spend it all in one place.
I'm sure she'll find a nice gumball machine
Which,
for it, Mike.
if you know Mike, it's hilarious.
That's right, because it was around Christmas when we went to. That was there was like twins on stage, and every amateur on there had their own weird backstory. That not that they were acting it out; it was just stuff that the DJ was explaining. Like these two twins and their turn-ons is having sex with two guys in the same car. Like. I don't know if I trust this biography. I don't think I trust Mr. DJ. And then there was a bigger girl who climbed up to the top and fell.
Oh no.
We gave her a good tip. We made sure to
We
tip
drove
her,
her to
not
the
Mike.
hospital.
We gave her to, yeah. Oh, God. It'll be the most shenanigans-y night of my life. Oh, but I would recommend this movie.
Oh yeah.
I thought
Watch
it was a
the
blast.
first one, which I'm pretty sure I told you at the time. Watch the first one and then watch the second one.
It's an easy movie to describe. It's like these male strippers go on a strip club, or I'm sorry, these male strippers go on a road trip, and frequently throughout the way they make several stops, which involves them eventually dancing.
Yes. And they're all like broy and lovey on each other, and like they do stuff like they go to a drag show. Not like, haha, ironically, but because they enjoy going to the drag show and they tend to stop there every time they roll through town. And they're hanging out with, like, the MC drag queen lady at the end. You know, they're like, hugging up on each other. They have, like, a bro bonding circle, which is the reason the truck crashes. Because they take a bunch of Molly, and then they're doing, like, kind of like a holding hands circle. And then they're like, Gabriel, get your hand in here. And he's driving. And he's like, everyone close their eyes. And he's like...
Crash. It's this hilarious shot too, because it's this one like static shot, and the
so
camera doesn't.
We're watching him fall asleep, and we're like, no.
Well, that and the exterior shot too, where the camera's just kind of in the middle of the road, and it doesn't switch angles at all. You just see the truck just go off into the trees, and you just hear a crash. I like funny shots like that in movies where the camera's is kind of in place and something horrible happens, and it gets to where whatever horrible is happening is happened off screen, but the camera still stays put. I like that kind of funny shot.
Likable guys, and they're, you know, exuding masculinity but not machismo, if that makes sense. And so it's just it's interesting to watch, and I hope that there are more characters like this going forward.
Like if they do another movie on this, or just in
just
general?
Just like less Entourage.
Like,
more this.
This is a better movie than Entourage was. Like, I didn't hate Entourage as much as other critics did, but this is a better movie. The characters in this are less scummy. Which is the appeal of Entourage. Like, yeah, they did Entourage, those characters are kind of scummy, but I still kind of laughed. But this would be a much douchier movie if they were just
if they were the same characters.
Yeah, this would be the douchiest fucking movie I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, bro, you bangy.
Yeah.
They kept saying that. It was adorable. That's how they asked each other if they had sex last night. You bangy?
But it's endearing.
Yeah. Because he's like, yeah, you bangy. High five.
Yeah. If you like the first one, you would probably like this. I mean, they're two completely different animals, but if you go into it and you're not expecting it to be like as kind of gritty and dark like the first movie was, I think you'll like it. If you go into this and that's what you're expecting, I hope you still like it, but it'll be kind of whiplash for you a little bit. I mean, we kind of knew going into it that it was more of kind of a shenanigans-y movie than the first one was. Which
honestly made me look forward to it more than I would have because I don't mind a gritty movie, but it's exhausting. This movie I walked out like...
Oh yeah, so did the whole audience. Definitely check it out. Check it out over Faith of Our Fathers. That's the last movie I went to go see. And Terminator Genesis.
I've got some previews. My pen ran out of ink halfway through was the problem.
Your pen ran out during the last preview, though. Yeah,
but the problem is I don't even know what that says, and we're not going to play that game again. American Ultra, which I want to see so bad. This is the Jesse Eisenberg one, where it turns out he's like a stoner sleeper agent. Ant-Man, we've talked about that.
We get that in front of every movie.
Steve Jobs.
Oh, that looks good.
That's the first time I've seen that preview. Because, like, there's that Ashton Kutcher Steve Jobs they made. But this was more like... not necessarily a very positive view of Steve Jobs. And,
like, maybe not like an ass-kissy kind of movie.
Yeah, like, this seemed more realistic and more interesting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they got the go-ahead on this movie because the Ashton Kutcher one didn't go over very well. Which I never saw it. But I heard it wasn't very good. Mm-hmm. This looks good. This looks really, really interesting.
Not least of which because that guy that was playing him, who was killing
Fassbender.
it in the preview. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's got Seth Rogen in it. looking his most Brian in this movie.
Yeah, he's a little scruffy.
Yeah, Rogan's in it. The people popped up. Who else popped up in that trailer? But it's mainly Fassbender.
Yeah. It looks like fun. I'm probably not going to end up getting sent to it. That looks like more like a You and Brian type of movie, but I don't know. I'd probably enjoy it.
All depends on what's opposite it. Maybe something really Brian-y and me will be
true. If it's
opposite.
opposite, like, Step It Up 5. Step up into the streets again. Ricky and the Flash.
I want to see that.
That's all you, my friend.
I just like the idea of Meryl Streep playing like Stevie Nicks kind of rocker chick. I don't know. I want to see that.
It looks a little saccharine to me. But it's Diablo Cody, so maybe not.
And Jonathan Demme directed it. I like Jonathan Demme. I'm not the biggest. I don't hate Diablo Cody by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not the biggest fan, but
I like Jennifer's Body.
I did like that.
Yeah.
I did like Jennifer's Body.
Paper Towns, which I still need to read that book. When does that one come out? Like, not next week, but the week after?
I think so. So I think it comes out sometime this summer.
To get on that.
Another trailer that I get in front of everything that I go see.
I was like, I enjoyed Fault in Our Stars when I read it, but like, it's not aging on my brain very well. Like, I'm disliking it the more time I have to think about it, if that makes sense.
Nah, yeah. I mean, I remember giving that a positive review. Can't remember much about the movie, but
I was just happy to see Mike Birbiglia acting in a movie.
yeah. Violet read Paper Towns, said it was all right.
Okay. And then, I don't know what the last one is. The something.
The Gallows.
Yeah!
Speaking of
the Charlie movie, because you had mentioned
Charlie!
You and Brian are going to go see that, and I said, what's The Gallows? And you said, that's what Brian said.
Yeah, it is what he said. Like, I texted him earlier. I was like, hey, man, you want to go see The Gallows at, like, 9:30 with me on Thursday? He's, sure, what's that? And then I texted him back. He's like, oh, found footage horror movie. I think it takes place in some gallows or something. And he writes back, I said something like, it's probably the As Above, So Below of this year. He writes back, oh, well, then definitely. And then I sent him the... there's my phone. I sent him the poster for it, which was... There's a big freaking poster hanging for it in the lobby in there, and I was like, here it is, and took a picture, and it's the girl, like, holding on to, like, her knees or something by, like, the lockers, and he's like, from what I got from this poster, the girl was running for some ghost and tore her shin and had to take a moment. Yeah.
But, like, watching the preview, I had forgotten this is the movie that is probably cashing in on the whole Charlie phenomenon.
What's that?
Oh, it's like, it's a, like, you put a pencil, and then you put another pencil, and then you say Charlie a bunch of times, and then, like, it goes to yes or no. It's basically like a poor man's Ouija board / Bloody Mary.
I've never heard of this.
The internet went insane for, like, a day, and now it's just gone again. But it seems like that's probably what this movie is doing, because they said Charlie, like, 10 times in that preview.
Yeah, it's doing, like, what sounds like that, and also, like, an 80s slasher movie kind of deal, like Hello Mary Lou, Prom Night 2, where it's like the student was injured during a school function and then the ghost haunts the school. Like, only it's found footage this time.
I was thinking during that movie that, like, if I had a kid and it grew up to be a teenager and then some other kids murdered it, I'd probably go kill crazy.
Yeah.
You know? It seems like the sort of situation where it's okay to go kill crazy, you know?
Is that what's happening in this? Like,
if that's what's actually, like, if it turns out it's his mom or what have you, because that's sometimes what happens.
Like Jason's mom.
Yeah, exactly. Then, you know, for me, that's understandable. You know, those little shits deserve to die. And I've gotten, you know, I just lost my kid. I could probably plead insanity.
Yeah, I mean, that's like... how in Unfriended you really couldn't feel sorry for any of them. But then Unfriended made the drastic mistake, though, of making the ghost more unlikable than the people who killed them.
Oh, God, I forgot about that movie. That's the one where the kid puts his hand in the bucket.
Yeah. That part was funny.
That grosses me out. I remember laughing at it in the preview, but I don't want to watch it.
I laughed at it in the movie, too. That was one of the few laughs I got out of that movie.
There's a part in Firestarter. I know what happens in the book. I can't remember if it happens in the movie where, like, the mom puts her hand in the garbage disposal.
Every time I think of that, I think of like Amityville 4, where that happens. It's been like 20 years since I've seen Firestarter. I can't remember if that happened in that.
Yeah, that stuff like that just grosses me out.
Like,
I like my hands. I use them for stuff.
I like my hands too much. I need them to press record on the camera. But
I need them to clean my garbage disposal.
yeah. There was one thing about the Gallows trailer that leads me to believe this is going to be terrible. When it was having quotes during it. And it was like, I don't know if you noticed the very last one, but it was saying like, the scariest movie. It looked like it was critical quotes. It was like, the scariest movie of the year. I kept wanting to look away. It was too scary. And then when it does the last one, it's like, it is crap my pants or something. And it was attributed to audience reactions. I've been to enough of these fucking movies to know, like, you could get positive quotes from fucking anything. I was at Transformers 3 and it got a standing ovation. Like, no, I don't have hopes for this Gallows movie.
Yeah, you don't want to trust audiences.
Oh, they're doing that in the TV trailers, too. It's doing those TV trailers where it's like a horror movie, but it's showing, like, night vision audience. Like, ah! Like, you also did that in the Devil Inside trailer.
Well, like, your average teenager that goes to a horror movie is doing it so they have an excuse to, like, scream a bunch and act a fool. Youths!
Which is why we get so many fucking movies now that are just jump scares, and that's it. Which is, I don't know, maybe it'll be good, but I'm guessing that's what the Gallows will be. At the least, it'll be short. Movies like that are always 80 minutes long.
That's true.
And
it's good because you guys are going to that one pretty late tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah, we're hitting that at like 9:30, but it also feels like one of those trailers where, like, I'm wondering if, like, the last shot in the movie is in that trailer. Like the part where the girl's
Where the girl's, like, got the rope around her neck.
Yeah.
And she goes,
I'm wondering if that's the last shot in the movie, because that happened with Quarantine, that happened with The Apparition, Paranormal Activity. I'm so used to just wondering now for trailers like that if just the ending is just in the trailer. So,
I hope not for your sake, but it'll be funny if it is.
It'll give us something to talk about. It's a bad movie, and it's me and Brian. We'll go for like 2 hours. So there's that Thursday and Minions.
Minions!
I think I'm
sorry, I'm reaching critical Minions.
You're not looking forward to Minions?
Overload. I'm looking forward to the movie. It's just there's fucking Minions on everything right now, and it's starting to piss me off. You
see the Twinkies in there that are Minions?
Are they Minions?
Yeah.
Of course they're Minions.
I mean,
like Minions bikinis.
Really?
I saw a thing online. Some people are having a Minions-themed wedding with, like, people in Minions costumes.
That's weird.
It is really weird.
And creepy. I hope they also go on the honeymoon, though.
They're dressed like Minions on the honeymoon.
That would be hilarious. All right, totally worth it. And then I think me and Ryan are seeing the riff tracks of Sharknado 2. That's also going on Thursday. Is that the one that he's in? Yeah.
With his trident?
Where he's Trident guy. Really hope that there's a riff to go along with that in there. And I want Ryan to stand up and go, Me! That was me! Hey, sit down up there.
I brought the trident!
How did you get that in? How did I not see you bring that in?
Because I said, do you know who I am?
Oh man, I hope they don't kick me out before I have to go see the Gallows.
I'll give you a hint. Trident.
That is exactly how he would put it. Well, we'll see you Thursday. God, my mind is fried. See you Thursday.
What?
Oh no!